Hey everyone, this is Alex.
This is Bosh, we're the Full Side of Sin. This is episode 25.
Yeah,
And today we're going to talk about...
random shit as usual.
Ah, okay, wonderful. What topic again? Best kind.
As you can tell, Boshka is always annoyed. I mean, hey man, if you wanted to find a topic, you should have just thought of one too. I mean, you had a whole week.
Well, no, I thought we had one.
I did.
Because I thought we had one. I'm like, oh, okay. So we had one, cool. Because earlier before we're recording, you asked me some question. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is something we could talk about in the podcast. I'm like, should we talk about this in the podcast? You're like, oh, no. Oh, okay, so he has something else. Amazing. And here we are.
No, I do have a topic. It's literally random shit. So, okay, so the first thing I want to talk about
Awesome. Yes.
is that we recorded it. I don't know if we mentioned it last time, but we recorded a gameplay video of us playing Metal Slug 3.
Right, and that was amazing.
Kind of.
The game was amazing. The port was crappy.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. And at first, I wasn't going to upload it on YouTube. I was going to be like, oh, yeah, this is a practice video. I'll practice my editing.
Wait, so you actually uploaded it?
I did end up uploading it.
Okay, now. All right. Nice. Good job.
So just to let people know, go check out our YouTube video. Fool's Odyssey YouTube channel. Check out our Metal Slug 3 gameplay video.
Oh, yeah. Lovely. All right.
And how can I say? Oh, and so far we got a couple of views, which is not bad. One of them was me.
Yeah.
One of them was me. So
Okay. So one you and one another person.
yeah, he probably just clicked.
Which might be me.
He probably just clicked the video and then turned it off right away.
Which might be me, right? You don't know that.
So my question now is like, how often do you click on a YouTube video, watch it for a couple of seconds, and then turn it off?
Honestly, it's very rarely because I already know who I want to watch.
Ah, I see.
But even then, some of the people that I kind of like, oh yeah, I used to watch this guy's stuff, and I watch it, and it's like, not as entertaining as back then. I would watch it like for a couple minutes, skip to the next couple minutes ahead, nothing interesting happening, close.
Oh, so you do give it a fair bit of a chance to entertain you.
A little bit, yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I think if I know if I like it, I would watch it at least a quarter of it.
Okay.
Which is kind of weird to say because there are some videos I would watch from start to end, but that's only if I'm like looking for that kind of video.
I see.
Like if I'm
For me, sometimes even if I'm looking for it, and I watch it, and I'm just like, you know what, I don't feel like it anymore, I would still close it.
Oh, really?
Sometimes I had to watch later or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Because for me, it's like if I'm watching like how-to videos, tutorials, or
right. Of course.
or whatever, right? Then I would watch it from start to end. Oh, there's one thing I do search for and don't watch from start to finish, which is like, ironically, gameplay videos or like kind of like podcasts.
Right.
Yeah, because there's this one podcast that I watch called Bad Friends, starring Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino.
Right.
But I don't watch them start to finish because they have timestamps in their videos. So I would just click on the timestamps that I think are interesting.
Interesting. So, if there's no timestamp, you wouldn't have done that? Or...
If there's no timestamp, I think I would on the timeline, I would kind of scroll over to see the thumbnail and see if there's anything interesting. But otherwise, I don't think I would. Or I would just skip through the conversations that I don't find interesting. Because kind of like us, they just talk about random shit as well. But
Interesting.
they're like comedians, so they have stories to tell. More stories than us to tell.
Yeah.
Based on their jobs, people they met, adventures that they've had so far.
Maybe you should try that once.
What do you mean? This is literally what we're doing.
Because I got a feeling if we do like jokes and about like work and stuff, it'll only turn to a vile toxicity.
I mean,
Pile of anger.
we mentioned Mark, Andre, supervisor, and Vincent, and the occasional Lady A, right?
Lady Flat. That's the new title she got.
Lady what?
According to Soup,
Yeah.
Lady Flat.
What is okay? Can we just talk about this on the podcast then? What is up with
No.
what is up with
No,
them?
no,
What is
no,
up with
no.
them? Seriously.
I think Soup was just trying to be, just trying to be a friend. Kind of like that. Kind of like, like
So by calling her
I told
flat.
you how he's like he's like an inept what do you call it? Like inept at social
Yeah.
social
Well,
skill,
I
right?
would say
He's really bad.
I
So
would say is socially retarded. I don't think we should be using that
uh
word anymore. We should say socially challenged.
no, I don't think he's the point of socially retarded. Vincent, on the other hand, I'd say he's socially retarded.
I feel like Vincent is more socially aware
No.
because he
Well,
knows when to shut
in
up.
different way.
In a different way. If you can kind of like combine the two,
Yeah.
it would be like okay.
No. No.
you
They would not be okay still.
you would get like the middle ground somehow.
No, not really, because this one, because Soup is just trying to make friend, but he doesn't really know how to socially interact with people. So sometimes he copy other people and doing stuff, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah. He
So,
copies everyone.
for example, like he won't do stuff until he saw somebody else does it.
Yeah.
Like me, you know how I am, right? When I joke people, I tease people, I like I bully people, and like it's just like a joke around with them, right?
Yeah.
And maybe somehow he sees that, and then he was like, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do that to that too, and then getting like good response, like they laugh and like joke back and stuff, and trust me when I say this, but like you know it too, like when people joke back at your joke, it's the best feeling ever, right?
Yeah.
He was just like, oh yeah, well, I joked and she joked back, yeah, it feels good, like we could be good friends, and we just keep joking and joking and joking, but for him, he was already decided that that's a good friend, right? For the other side, we don't know, right? That's what I'm saying. So, because right now I already confirm, double confirm, and triple confirm that Soup was just trying to be like, Soup was just trying to be like friend. That's it.
Supposedly.
Yeah. At least that's what it comes across to me. I'm like, oh, well, that's why keep it in your pants.
For now. We'll see. I mean, there are times when see because supervisor makes like these. Okay, we all know this one guy who was that guy. That guy that just makes sex jokes that no one cares for. Supervisor is that guy, and whenever he makes like a weird joke to Boshka, Boshka would just look at him and be like, "Why'd you say that?"
No, because how do I say this? Because he's not trying to make like sex jokes and whatever. It's just that you probably didn't even remember this. There was one moment when it was back then when we're on the meet.
Yeah.
It was I don't know if you're there, but it was me. I think you were there. Golden Boy was there,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
and Soup was there too. Like four of us, right?
Yeah.
And then at the time he was like just joking about like talking about games and whatnot. But then Golden Boy started talking about like what do you call it, like like about girls and stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then of course Soup only have a direct contact. Well, I wouldn't say direct contact. The only contact he has with girls like from porn videos, right? So he's trying to broad. So he was like talking about stuff to that. So he's like, ooh yeah. So like he and he had like a because Golden Boy in his way he's a very positive person, right?
Yeah.
He kind of encouraged people in its own way too. It kind of like he kind of like puts them down but kind of push them up kind of thing. You know what I mean?
He's like Andre, but with an edge.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Like maybe he got the push from Golden Boy, and then we had several talk about like like about girls and whatnot. And maybe that's he thought like, oh, I guess like because we were enjoying the conversation too, right? Because it's like oh, and we're like laughing and stuff like that. So maybe he thought that was a good topic conversation for a boys talk. You know what I mean? So that's why when there's only like boys around, he would start bringing that topic up, and he probably enjoyed the conversation too. It's just that we're like, what? It's just the timing and the placement is just not right. You know what I mean? Most of the time, it's like out of nowhere.
It's like you said. That's the only thing he knows what to talk about.
Yeah, because he's very secretive too. Like he doesn't like sharing.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't want to talk about many things. I don't know, because he's worried about it and just don't want to, or maybe he just like don't like to share like private talks or whatever. I don't know. I've never do. I've known him the longest out of all of you, but I still don't understand. But by this moment, I don't even want to bother anymore. So, yeah.
It's weird because when you talk about stuff with them, like, oh hey, well, how do you like your PS5? He's like, yeah, it's okay. It's a lot faster than the PS4. And then I'll be like, okay,
Well,
what games are you gonna play on your PS5? It's like, yeah, I'm just waiting. Okay.
for me, that doesn't really matter because for me, the soup that I know is that he, first of all, before he plays the game, he wants to have things first. In a sense, like he wants to collect.
Okay.
Especially like the PlayStation, whatever, like PS5. He wants a PS5. Even if there's no game for him, he'll buy it.
Yeah.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Same with me, kind of. But then, like, I'm excited to see
For me, I don't know why you bought it.
because there are PS4 games I want to play.
Because up to this day, I still don't understand why you buy a PS5.
I got a PS.
I still
Okay.
I still can't believe it. I'm like, really?
Okay, I got a PS5 because of the fact that I can use it as a 4K DVD player. Right, I can watch 4K movies on it. I can play PS5 games and PS4 games on it. And there's PS4 games that haven't played yet, and I skipped getting a PS4. So getting a PS5 was a good time. It was a good timing to get a PS5, in my opinion. Especially since my friend was able to secure pre-orders for it.
From my point of view, you don't even play games.
I mean,
Barely.
Yeah, I
Ish.
barely play games. It's because my hobbies kind of like bounce around from.
Yeah, well, you have a lot of hobbies. You do a lot of things.
Yeah.
You play guitar, you play ukulele, you play piano,
Not well, mind you. I don't play any.
Oh
of
yeah,
those.
none of them are well.
Yeah.
But
I'm still learning, right?
he has a lot of hobby, but none of them are like
Like
especially like polished yet.
yes,
He'll get there, maybe.
maybe
But
this.
but fingers crossed.
This is what happens. Like 3 months I'll be into guitar, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna simmer down a bit, and then I was like, oh shit, I want to get a piano. 3 months I'll be into the piano, then simmer down a bit, and then 3 months I'll be like, oh yes, I want to get a ukulele, and then it's like a.
Oh yeah, I know. It's this pointless spiral of doom. You just keep, oh, this sounds interesting. Ooh, what does this do? Ooh, what does that do?
Yeah.
You just, yeah, it's just you don't. How do I say this? You never mastered it.
I mastered. There's only one thing I mastered, and that's being myself.
Even that you're not sure.
In some way, yeah.
See, nothing. You mastered nothing. You're just a jack.
I'm a jack. I'm a jack off.
Yeah, you're not a master. No, you're just a jack. Yeah, pointless trash.
Actually, no. There's one hobby that stuck with throughout the years. It doesn't take much effort. It's collecting shit. That's like the easiest hobby you can
Yeah,
get to.
and that's what you're still doing up to this point. You collect a guitar, you collect a piano. You're collecting hobbies right now. Isn't that fucking amazing? Good for you.
It's like collecting Dragon Balls. I'm collecting Dragon Balls not to make a wish, just because I want to have it.
Okay, so from now on, when I say Fool's Odyssey, I'm Boshka. You should call yourself Fafnir, because one day you'll turn to that. Maybe not a dragon, a duck or something,
Wait, Fafnir, the Norse thing?
Yeah, Fafnir is the dragon that likes to collect loots and golds and everything.
I see. I'm not very well versed in Norse. Well, you know what's funny though is that back in elementary school, I was really into Greek mythology. I really liked the story of Troy and the Odyssey, the Homer's Iliad.
Yeah.
At that time, I thought I was like, oh shit, I might pursue I might go to college just to learn more about this history stuff, right? Because I really like the Greek mythology. Never went through with it.
As in, like, you never took a step in that, or you just kind of like, yeah, fuck it, walk away.
I never took a step into it. I think because I lost interest in it after a while.
Because for me, if I may be very honest, like those Greek mythology, it sounded more like a novel than a history. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I just like the idea of the stories.
Yeah, there's a lot of romance in it, like in a sense that a journey to the end of the world, like a journey of not being able to go home, going all to this weird places and stuff, like that, or like the story of a war, like that's I mean, that's just like reading comic books, except more sophisticated in a way. You know what I mean? Somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so thinking, now that you mention it, I probably was just really into the story itself and not the history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for me, well, I mean, like those kind of stories, like something that I've liked to since back then,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of video games and mangas and comics used a lot of those elements, especially from like those like Norse mythology, like Greek mythology, those kind of those supernaturally and epic and messed up, I'd say, figures.
Like not myths, but like folk tales, right? You like folk tales.
I think they're a lot. Well, at least even Greek is a lot more fucked up, I'd say, than folk tales.
See, when I think of these myths and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always thought there's supposed to be like a moral to the story.
No, that's the beauty in it. There's no moral. It's just a story. There's nothing to learn from it. There's nothing to. It's just that. It's a story. Back then, supposedly, a god turned to a horse and got fucked in the butt. You know what I mean? It's.
That's your kind of story. That's your kind of story.
I didn't say that. Now I'm just simplifying a lot of things.
Another thing that I thought I was gonna get into was baking.
Why not do it? You could do it right now.
No, I mean as a career. Because back when I was in high school, I worked at this place and I worked in the bakery section. And I was like, oh man, I really like doing this. I was like making the dough and all that stuff.
What stops you?
I think because people changed and I got kind of kicked out of that department. Yeah, so I was like, oh man. I was working with this other guy who went to the same high school as me at the time. And we would just goof around and have fun there, right?
Yeah.
But then, yeah, and we were also like, we kind of got promoted, quote unquote, to become the morning baker. And then I guess because they wanted someone full time or they wanted people who can do more hours, our boss changed, and then after that, everything changed.
And the Fire Nation came to attack.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
And also, they don't bake the product anymore. It comes frozen, and we just proof it and bake it after.
Oh, that's boring.
Yeah, before we started from dough.
Yeah. So, well, why don't you do it as a hobby?
I thought about it, yeah, for sure.
Like make it and then bring it to, to work and then give it to people. Hey.
I definitely thought about that, yeah. But I would have to think of something that I would really want to make. And there's some cool stuff out there for sure.
Dude, make a fucking croissant and just send it around. People would love it. I'd fucking love it. Though I'll probably think 2 times, 3 times while receiving food from you. But the mochi was good, though. The mochi was good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my mom made mochi, yeah.
Yeah. One time he gave it to me. I was like, do I really want to risk my life? Do I want to risk my future?
Yeah.
And I took a bite. It was actually really good, so...
Yeah, it's good. It's homemade. Of course it's going to taste good.
No, homemade is one of the dangerous stuff.
Was there anything you were into as a kid that you kind of just lost interest over time?
Yeah, I wanted to be a pilot.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah, because for me, I always liked the idea of being able to, what do you call it, not be on the ground.
Ah.
Like, that's why, like, for me, I've been wanting to, like, I kind of, like, wanted to... like do skydiving, like, just like float in the air kind of thing, like fly up kind of thing, or even like in the water. That's why I really like swimming, because I could just float in the middle of the water, just like feeling this free. That's why I really like doing that. Then I really want to be a pilot. I actually went to like this. I was in grade schooler. I actually went to this. There was like a school trip kind of thing. We go to this like a hangar and whatnot.
Yeah.
And because I was really passionate about it too. I was like really, because like whenever they ask me what I want to be a pilot. I want to fly in the sky. Like and then so I don't know why they pick an airport and a hangar that we go there so we can interview the people and whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I was interviewing this pilot and whatever, and then he was like, "Want to ride in?" I'm like, hell yeah! So I sit on the co-pilot.
Yeah.
I did. And then they closed the door, and I put like the seat belt and like everything good. And then I was like, okay, flick this one up. I'm like, flick this one too. Okay, pick this one. Okay, ready to go. Okay, we're moving now. Like we actually go. Like we actually start moving, and then my mom was screaming so loud for me.
Why was she screaming?
Well, no, because she was scared that I would just like fucking go to like
Peace out.
fucking the moon or something. I don't know. But yeah, she was concerned. Like she was like, because yeah, she's very like worried about me and stuff. So
I mean, fair.
yeah. So
So is that why you stopped? Because your mom was...
no. So I was I was like we were like, yeah. So he didn't fly it up. So we just like scooting around on a plane, like we move around, like
Yeah.
like taxiing kind of thing. So
Yeah.
but then like later on that year, I was in my grandpa's place, and then there was a swing over there. So the thing is, like, we're supposed to swing the other way around, because there's one side that's like a flat line, like behind,
Yeah.
and the front is kind of like a hill downward kind of thing.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah, so we're supposed to swing to the flat line, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so like when we go back, we could see the or like, I don't know, if you're older, you could want to see the hill and whatever. So I was swinging to the hill, and my uncle was like, pushing me, and he pushed me really hard, and I was like, oh, maybe if I just let go, I could like fly, right? So I did let go. I flew. I flew, but then the sudden dread of falling down,
Yeah.
and then I fell down and hit the ground, and I rolled down really fast too, and it kind of traumatized me that I can't. So that's why, like, I'm traumatized now. Like, I can't. I'm afraid of falling, and I'm afraid of high speed.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I can't. Like,
Damn.
that's why. Like, for example, like when someone's driving a car and goes too fast,
Yeah.
I tensed up hard. But back when I was a kid, like when we used to take like a bike a lot, and then we would drive like really fast too. And I would like, I'd be standing and screaming like woohoo, like I would be crazy. Now I can't do that anymore. I'm way too scared.
To this day.
Just because of that one thing. Yeah, till to this second.
Holy shiza.
Yeah.
Damn, that sucks.
That's why after that traumatizing moment,
Yeah.
I couldn't I was too scared to be a pilot, so I just start swimming. Swimming feels good.
Kind of the same feeling, right?
Just floating in the air.
Wow, could you imagine how different your life would have been if you didn't get traumatized?
No,
Would you have wanted to become an astronaut eventually?
because that's what actually I was thinking too. If I'm gonna be a pilot, I want to be an astronaut. That was actually my my thing. Because if I can't be in the sky, I'll be in the space.
Wow.
Look at how fucking bright and optimistic that little idiot is.
Wait a minute, you can still...
You don't just be a pilot because you want to. You don't be astronaut just because you want to. You got shit to study. You got stuff to pursue. You got shit to accomplish.
Yeah, but that's how it all starts, right? Someone says, I want to be an astronaut, and they work their ass off to become an astronaut.
Yeah,
That would have happened for you too.
probably not.
You never know.
I do.
Well, you know yourself better than anyone else, and I know you better
Yeah.
than anyone else.
Except me.
I feel like if you really wanted to, you would have given it your all.
No. Maybe.
Okay. Maybe. All right.
No, probably not. Because I can't see it, because it didn't happen, so I can't see it. It doesn't exist.
As we say, in a different universe out there, would it make you feel better if you found out in a different universe you were a pilot or an astronaut?
I'd probably feel pretty happy. I'm like, damn, good for him. I hope you got launched to the sun and never come back.
Why do you want your other clone or like other person of yourself to die?
I thought, didn't we have this conversation before when he says like, oh yeah, what if there's like another you in the world? Kind of like that, you know what I mean? And you meet them. I'll tell you, right, if I were to meet myself, I'd probably hate that person.
Why though?
Because we're the same thing.
No, but that's
Because we share the same thought and we share the same vision, and we don't want the other to do better than the other. Simple as that.
you're so jealous that you would hate yourself because of it.
Of course. Of
I
course.
see.
No, because it's myself. I don't get jealous of other people. I don't give a shit what they do. But if it's myself,
Yeah.
I feel like my worth, the me, is just, yeah, I don't allow it.
I see. Because right now you're like the one and only. But if there's two of you, there's
So I'm not a failure because I'm the only one. Nobody does better than I do. 'Cause
No,
I'm
but-
the only one.
But that's only if like somehow there's another you on our same Earth. But I'm talking about another you in a different Earth, on a different universe, different world, parallel.
Yeah, but it's still me, right?
Yes and no, right? It's you, but
No, it's yes and yes.
Would you can you really consider that to be the same person if it's not really
Yeah,
you?
of course.
Like a twin. Would you consider a twin the same people, the same person?
Twin is not the same person.
So why would a parallel universe you be not different?
Because that's you.
Is it though? It's not me. We have different lives. We live different experiences. We just look similar.
But it's you. Did you not get it? Like, you run the same... How do I explain this in a way that normal human could understand?
We're not the same because we don't have the same experience. We don't have the same look, the same style, the same anything.
But he's me.
He just happens to share the same name as you.
Not just the same name.
So,
The same fate, in a sense.
same fate.
He is me. Yeah. Not in the sense the fate of, like, you know, how things ends to be. It's kind of like... How do I say this? Like, he's living my slot. You know what I mean?
He's not taking...
It's hard to explain this to you.
It is, because because in my opinion, it's not the same person.
Oh, it is. It has to be.
Why does it have to be?
Because he's living in your shoes. You know what I mean?
Is he though? What if that person is
Because
like...
he's living in your shoes, doing different thing, but it's still your shoes.
Is it?
You know what I mean?
What if he's like a million times richer than you or a million times poorer than you? Would that be considered the
Doesn't
same?
matter. He's me. It's not the richness. It's not what he did. That's not what he does. The fact that he is me. Doesn't matter if he turns out to be a she or he turns out to be a fucking 8-leg, 9 faces monster or whatever. He's still me. If that's the case, then he's me, and that's no bueno.
That's quite interesting. That's really weird to think of it like that.
How so?
Because for me, like, for you, for that person to be the same person would mean they would have to have, like, the same experience, the same life experience.
Not necessarily. At least not for me. That's not how I see how a person is defined.
Okay, so for that person to be the same as you, they just have to look like you.
No, not look like me. No. On my shoe.
What do you mean by
Like-
your shoe?
Like in my slot. I have to draw a picture for this, and it's really hard to explain it to you.
Try your best to explain it to me.
When I say fate too, this is gonna explain it when I say fate.
Okay.
When I say fate, the thing that pops up in your head is like how things will end to be, right?
Kind of, like, yeah.
If I says, yeah, that's your fate, that means let's just say you turns out to be like a fucking Martian. You know, your child will be a Martian. That's that's gonna be a fate, right?
Okay, yeah.
But what I'm saying when a fate is that fate doesn't just end; it also begins, right? And each person has their own fate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if we begin the same way, we're putting on the same slot, the same fate. Then whatever the fate ends as, if we start from the same root, then he is me. Do you get that?
But wouldn't there be other people with the same fate as you?
Of course not. That would be me.
So what if he doesn't have the same fate as you, but he just looks like you?
Then he's not me.
So you're okay, but he looks like you.
It doesn't matter if he looks exactly like me. If he doesn't occupy the same fate slot as I am,
Yeah.
then he's not me.
But that's what I'm saying is I don't think a parallel universe you would have the same fate slot as you.
Of course it would be, because it's me. Do you understand? Because it's a me in a parallel world, so it's me.
No, that's not what I'm saying. It's not you. It's someone that looks like you.
That means that's not me. That's not my parallel me then. That's someone else.
So for someone to be a parallel you, it would have to be exactly identical, down to the fate.
No. See, that's what I'm saying. Don't look at the fate at the end. I'm talking about the beginning.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain this
That's
shit.
what I mean. Like, so the fate has to be the same. The looks has to be the same, or looks doesn't have to be the same. Sorry, so just the
No,
fate.
nothing has to be same. If he occupies the same slot, the beginning, the alpha, the starting point. If he occupies the same fate as I do,
Yeah.
then it doesn't matter how the fate branch out, weasel out, or whatever. Then that person is me.
Okay. Interesting. I can kind of
It's,
I can
yeah.
kind of get it, but I don't agree with that statement. That's why.
And that's fine.
But again, we don't have evidence of any of this because we're not scientists of any kind.
This is full Odyssey.
Yeah, we're just two dum-dums talking about dum-dum stuff.
Yeah. And this is more of a belief than a science fact or stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. I was okay. So my
So
next.
hold up.
Wait.
So no, I'm not done yet. Scratch it. So now my turn to ask you.
Okay.
So for example, what determines, let's just say in parallel universe, okay?
Mm-hmm.
What determines that person to be you?
Nothing really. I mean, it's just the looks the same names practically.
No, let's just say the looks are different because let's just say this person when he's like 3 years old didn't develop pimples or whatever, and his face suddenly turns out better. Or maybe when he was younger he didn't sleep weird, so his jaw is in a better condition, and you look 10 times better than what you are right now. Let's just say,
Yeah.
Is that person still you?
Yes.
What makes him you then?
I would say he's identical to me, but I wouldn't say he's the exact same person. But to say he's Alex is correct.
I see. So what you're saying is that you yourself is only you because you live and experience and decide the thing under your own experience.
Yeah.
So if I said something else, anything else, does exactly what you did, but a completely different thing, would that makes it you?
It would be, yes. He would still be Alex, but he wouldn't be exactly the same as me. He wouldn't be like identical to me, you know? I would still
What makes it different?
I would still consider him to be Alex because he doesn't have the same path as me.
No, what if exactly somebody else exactly has that? It's just that instead of a one face, he has three face. Would that still be Alex?
Yes. Then I guess I found my identical twin. I guess in the universe.
That would be twin because twin is a different people, right?
Or I guess my
Or do you think
identical being, my identical being, whatever you want to fucking call it. If he happens to have three faces, but he shared the exact same experience as me, doing the exact same thing as me, yep, that's you got it, man. That's exactly me. That's me if I had three faces, or I'm him if he had one face. You know.
I see. Yeah. So that's how you draw the line. Yeah. Interesting. All right, I'm satisfied with that one.
Okay.
So it's pretty easy to make a clone of you then.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. But this is why everyone is so different on our planets, because everyone has a different life. We have similar stories, but we all have different tales to tell. So you're saying everyone shares the same story?
I didn't say that.
You sound like you wanted to disagree with me there.
There's something I would like to say about that, but then again...
Okay, say it.
This is going to get too far. No, it's get too far. Like, we've been like 37 minutes in this.
I mean, that's fine.
You had another topic going on.
No.
I kind of like, I can't really put it into words right now.
Okay, fair. Okay. No, because...
It's like, I haven't, like... What do you call it? Like...
Thought about it.
Chew on it enough.
Okay.
That I can't really...
Okay. We'll come back to it later if it pops up again. But... My next thing I was going to ask you, it's kind of similar. It's like, do you consider fate and destiny to be the same?
For me, destiny is kind of like an end. You know what I mean?
So fate's the beginning and destiny's the end.
No, fate is the whole package. It's like, for me, a person's like, fate is like determined.
Okay, yeah.
In a sense that from the point of your birth till the end of your death, there's this thing that's just for you.
Okay. And then what about destiny? How do you define that?
Destiny is just it. The ending. You know what I mean?
Just the ending.
Just the ending. That's what it feels like to me.
I see. So if I told you, hey Bosh, you're destined to do this, that's the end of it?
Well, that's the end of my... Yeah, like at the end of my whole thing, that would be the last thing I do.
And then what happens after that? Nothing? Like
I don't know. I'll probably die.
So I was like, hey Bosh, I saw the future and you're destined to play guitar on a grand stage in front of 1 million people doing a rock star concert.
Then I will try my whole being to not hold a fucking guitar and not to go any concert because I'm gonna die after that. I'm not doing that. You crazy?
But you're destined to do it, right? You can't fight against destiny, can you?
Who are you to tell me my destiny?
This is my destiny. But so you're saying you can fight against destiny, but you can't fight against fate.
Maybe.
Interesting.
Because for me, like, whatever you do, whatever you... What do you call it? Even kind of like a lucky break and stuff like that, it's just part of fate. And that's what I think.
I see.
Because destiny, I don't know. I think destiny is just it's just a word of convenience. How to say this?
But isn't fate the same thing, right?
I don't know. I think
if something goes bad, you
yeah.
can just be like, oh, that was just fated to fail or something like that.
I guess, but I don't know because I think because fate isn't exactly something. How do you say this? Something you perceive. You know what I mean?
But destiny, you can.
Because you can't. No, I don't know because I don't understand what destiny is.
I see.
That's what it is.
Hmm.
Because for me, fate is a basic thing, something that you just can't tell. You're fated to like even if somebody says they're fated to fail. First of all, that's not up to them, and maybe this failure is just another step for a better thing, right? Or maybe not. Maybe up to something worse. We just don't know. It's just it's an enigma thing.
But destiny, you can kind of control it.
I don't know. For me, destiny, I don't know what destiny is. That's what it is.
Destiny is a question mark.
What about you? What do you think fate is?
For me, I think it's pretty much one and the same. Like they have
Just a different wording?
yeah, just different words for it. You know, like kind of like beef and cow or whatever, right? It's kind of like they mean the same thing.
You fucking savage. Beef and cow? Cow's alive. Beef is like fucking cut up. You just offend whatever viewer we have.
Okay, well,
How dare you?
pork. Well, you just call it pork and pig. There's different things.
Of course, one is alive, one is dead.
Okay. How about like water and H2O?
That's the exact same thing. None of them are alive.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that's to me, that's fate and destiny. It's just the same thing. It's different.
Yeah, but it's not cow and beef.
Well, according to you, cow is fate and beef is destiny.
No, for me, a cow is fate, and a destiny, I don't know. It could be a lamb for all I
It's
know.
mystery meat.
I don't know what that is.
Destiny is mystery meat.
That's what it could be chicken. You know what I mean? It could be a fowl. I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyways, that's what I mean. I think fate and destiny is the same thing, but for me, I think fate.
Can you fight against it?
Was that?
Do you believe you can fight against it?
I want to believe so, but I don't think you can. I think we have the illusion that we can fight against it, but in the end,
Yeah, but it's just part of the fate.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, can you really say for a fact that you fight against destiny when
That's what I mean.
or that was you're fated to become that?
That's what I mean. And I'm glad that we're on the same page on that one.
That we can't fight against fate or destiny, or you can't decide, you can't say for sure.
You just can't say for sure because you don't know. You can't tell your own fate, right? Until it actually happen.
But in terms of fate, I do like the story. I think I may have mentioned it in the podcast. It's the red string of fate. Did they call it red string of fate or red string of destiny? Fate, right? Yeah.
Fate.
That I like that story. I like that story a lot. It's like
What is that?
the idea that
The only thing I know. Oh
well,
yeah.
it's the idea. Well, I don't know.
ahead.
Some people say it's pinky, but from what I've known, the way I've known it from is ankle, right? So there's the idea that there's a red string like tied to your ankle, and then on the other end of that string is your person that you're meant to be with forever. You're like you're like true love, and we all have that attached to somebody.
I see.
Yeah, it's very popular in Asian
Because
countries.
the red string of fate that I know of is the one that connected to the pinky,
Yeah, but it's
and that's what the Japanese
Yeah.
the Japanese
pretty much the same thing.
folklore is all about. Pretty much, yeah.
Have you ever? I never seen you rudely told anyone off before, ever. Even to me,
What do you mean?
I know you're like we're just fucking around, right? You're never like, fuck off, you dirty Chinaman. You know, never ever. I was gonna say a different word, but I don't want to, you know.
Oh yeah, you want to get
Yeah.
in trouble.
But you know what I mean? Like even that stuff, we're just bantering and having fun, and we have that relationship, so we know we're joking. But I never seen you go.
Yeah.
You saw like some guy like, ew, you dirty white man, get the fuck away from me, you know.
Because it really depends on how you look at it, right? In a sense, like for me, if there's no reason for me to antagonize this person, then I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Why the fuck would you do that? It's just, he done nothing wrong to you. Why would you just suddenly throw a dagger at someone? That's just not right.
Even at work, the person that you don't really like, you still never told them off. Mm-hmm. You might talk to them a bit rudely, but you never just like, oh, don't talk to me.
Really? I don't remember being that nice. Am I? I don't really know myself. I don't really
Current
remember.
manager you're not really fond of, but I've never seen you.
Not very fond of. That's putting
Yeah,
it
yeah.
lightly. I like that.
You never like raged at him or anything like that. You kind of just sarcastic and
And the thing is, like, he didn't get it.
I think that's the best part.
My sarcasm. Yeah, he didn't get it, and he took it as a compliment. I'm like, yes, wonderful.
See, that's what I mean. Like even when you're not happy or friendly with that person, you still on your best behavior.
Well, I was raised right. So.
Yes.
The only thing I can say.
Yes. See, 25 episodes. Boshka keeps telling everyone, I'm not who I am. I'm an evil piece of crap and blah, 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 blah.
I am. Hey, hold up. Regarding that, guess what I've been doing the past 2 hours? Listening to all the emo rocks that I can find on YouTube back in year 2000. That's what I'm listening to. I've been listening to MCR again. I've been like jamming. I just found their live like concert. I've been listening to that nonstop.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you a piece of crap, you know?
I'm still
It's just, you're just human.
What do you mean?
You're the nicest
yeah,
human ever.
just because they're emo doesn't mean they're a piece of shit. What the fuck? That's
what I mean.
That's like a war statement to ex-emo.
That's what I mean. You're just a giant teddy bear. You're like a bear. You know,
Hey,
if
fuck
you get poked enough, you'll rage, right? But for the most part,
You'll stab them, you just claw their head off.
but for the most part, you're just like a fluffy bear. Yeah, like a Build-A-Bear. You know, you just need someone to put a heart in you. Kind of like that, you know. That's how I see you.
I don't know. For me, like, I have a lot more, I guess, thought instead of action. Because I'm very good at, what do you call it? Because let's just say I have a convenient personality, right? Like, I'm good at splitting my personality like several parts. And I have like this one person that's just like the bank of all negative emotion. So any bad emotion, I just shove it that way, and let that thing deals with it.
Okay.
So yeah, usually that works out very well. I mean,
I see.
and this is pretty much Fool's Odyssey. We start with no topics, end up with something, getting really heated about something that doesn't really matter at the end of the time, but that's Fool's Odyssey. We go circle
We have a very
and circle and circle.
vivid imagination, I'll say.
Yeah, we immerse ourselves real deeply.
My ideas
Yes.
for the topic for this episode wasn't anything we spoke today. Yeah.
And can I tell you something? I'm not surprised.
Yeah. The moment you say something and I latch onto that idea and ask you a question, it just that's the end.
That's
over.
the end. That's Fool's Odyssey.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add, Bosh?
I'm good.
Okay. Do the outro, please.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. This is Fool's Odyssey, episode 25. This is Boshka.
This is Alex.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you again next time. Goodbye.
Bye bye.